Hey, my name is Brent Paschke. I'm the guitar player for SPYMOB and also the guitar player most knownly for doing the majority of guitar work for Pharrell and the Neptunes and pretty much most all of the N.E.R.D stuff that you hear. It's just fun to kind of mess around with a new toy. So really I kind of got in this kind of deep into the music game when I created this with a couple other guys, created this band called SPYMOB, which was kind of, it was a band like we got compared to like Steely Dan and Rudgren and people like that a lot. I do a lot of work in Los Angeles. I did work on the last Katy Perry record, on Britney Spears' last record, up and coming Nelly Furtado record. You know, obviously tons of N.E.R.D stuff, lots of work with Pharrell. So I end up doing a lot of session work around the cities with people like Pharrell, Tricky, Rodney, Ryan Leslie, all kinds of different people. In the studio, that's definitely something that I'm commonly doing is in the vocal booth, or in the booth or where I'm recording guitar, looking for something to dampen out like the top two strings or something to kind of like stop the resonance, because I might be doing you might be doing two-note things where you're trying to miss a couple strings. So a lot of times you're putting tape around strings or grabbing whatever you can to kind of dampen it out. So it is definitely a common thing, especially in recording nowadays when you're trying to keep things pretty clean a lot of times to fit in with synthesizers and things like that. You don't want extra notes buzzing and ringing through, you know? So yeah, the BuzNut is cool because this way in the studio, you know, when I'm recording, I can choose to, like, you know, if I'm doing like a pop session, I can choose to take the BuzNut, kind of put it in the position where it is dampening strings. And if I wanted to do, like, you know, which is common nowadays, like a Dr. Luke kind of vibe, I can easily get the, you know, I can get that kind of sound without worrying about these top strings really ringing out too much if I accidentally hit them. Because when you're switching, you might accidentally kind of hit those, but having them dampened out is nice. It kind of condenses everything. For me, this is great. Like, for instance, in SPYMOB, like when I have like SPYMOB, one of my lines on Sitting Around Keeping Score was like a pretty intricate, like kind of finger picking almost thing, where it's like, you know, where it's like you're like a lot of open notes where you're popping, you're kind of like changing positioning a lot, and that can be like tricky when you don't have something to kind of help you dampen things out a little bit. Especially live. I could have used it live. That's great in like a jazz kind of thing. Although I'm on a Strat, but like say if you're on like a 335 or something, you know, be really. Yeah, it's great for things like that, you know, deaden it out almost completely, you know. It's a very easy way to just kind of introduce something a little different into the picture, you know. It's just like having pedals, man, like, you know. I could see that really useful in recording. especially, you know. That's where kind of my school, where I come from, is that kind of digging in style, and you know, that can help with distortion, you know, kind of setting it up so it's just it's deadening out a little bit, you know. What's cool too is maybe in some of those situations where you want like some high string to ring, but maybe when you're changing chords, you don't want it to ring too much. There's a lot of, you know, you can look at it as almost like an effect. It's just another way of using it, like a nice new pedal or something, you know. It's going to add just a little bit of help sometimes to not have everything just ringing out completely. So it's, you kind of, for me, it's kind of like 2 stages of dampening, you know. It's kind of how I see it, which is useful in the studio, definitely. Get a little different feeling. It's worth something, you know. It's worth a new song, you know, or a new guitar riff. So yeah, the BuzNut, it's really cool. So get your buzz on.